What's up guys, my name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and welcome back to the channel. World of Warcraft is the MMORPG that literally all of us have played at some point. Either you play it or you played it a long time ago. One of the things that makes WoW so great is how many things you can collect. Battle pets, class pets, cool items, and mounts you can ride on. Now PvE is a huge component in World of Warcraft, and raiding guilds are always trying to be the first to defeat new bosses, and teams of players are always looking for the newest bosses to add to their credit. In today's top 10 video, we'll be taking a look into the top 10 secret bosses in World of Warcraft that you probably didn't know about. These bosses are strange and super cool, and after watching this video, you'll be guaranteed to wish that you defeated some of them. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 10. Kosumoth The Hungering. This boss is a secret world boss that is centered on a whole event and was a long-term puzzle discovered and solved by the WoW secret finding Discord team. Added in patch 7.0 in Legion, this hidden world boss drops some pretty neat items. Upon defeating Kosumoth, he drops the underwater mount, the Fathom Dweller, and the Hungering Claw, a companion pet. The boss does not begin as visible to the player. In fact, to access this boss and gain access to the world quest linked to him, there are many steps that need to be done, and the world quests for this boss are not shared on all characters on an account, and must be done for each character a player seeks to down the boss on. The boss doesn't physically drop the rare items though, but rather be a placeholder that grants the awarding of these items upon the completion of the world quest linked to him. The world quest known as Danger Kosumoth The Hungering, a bounty based quest, resets every 2 weeks and will reward the player with either the mount or the pet drop. Add-ons useful to seek this boss include TomTom for waypoints, arrows and POI map locations, and copy pasta or paste, which are add-ons that allow the pasting of /way commands, which are waypoints. This boss was found after players were seeking the reins of the long forgotten Hippogriff in Asuna, a rare flying mount, when they stumbled upon a set of caves with orbs scattered around the surrounding area. They discovered talking to various NPCs such as Drakthul would unlock secret caverns previously with their access blocked that allowed the suspicious orbs to be clickable in a specific order. After players click all orbs in order, the final orb will unlock and spawn in the world quests that will allow the player to defeat Kosumoth for a reward. Mysteries and secret quest lines and puzzles like this are something Blizzard began to add in the more recent expansions and offers a more thrilling adventure for collectors. Number 9. Nightbane. Deep in the Return to Karazhan instance lies Nightbane, a fiery dragon and a secret boss that is summonable. This boss drops the highly sought after mount known as the Smouldering Emberworm, a fiery dragon of the exact same look. Similar in regard to a few other bosses in the game, this instance has a time-based challenge to it that if achieved in the right time, players will be able to spawn and defeat Nightbane and have a chance at extra loot and the precious mount. Note that players who wish to seek out this boss must enter the dungeon on Mythic difficulty. Upon entering the halls, a message will appear stating, "The strange chill of a dark presence winds through the air." But this is not just a message, as this is the start to the timer. After the timer begins, players must interact and collect 5 different crystals within the instance, which will create a stacking buff with each layer lasting for 5 minutes and increasing time to the previous once a new crystal buff is acquired, with a buff disappearing when a player dies. All 5 crystal grants the spell called Medivh's Presence, which grants insight into Medivh's mind and past and allows for players to see the NPC called Echo of Medivh that will start an RP event of some sort and allow the summoning of the boss, which will also in turn grant the achievement One Night in Karazhan after speaking to Medivh on Mythic difficulty. Number 8. Endgineer Omegaplugg. Another secret boss added in the Legion expansion, Endgineer Omegaplugg is a boss that can be found in a place dear to many classic fans, Nomoragan. The boss is a secret one and requires a full party to complete, as the boss is actually extremely tough, or was back in Legion. Players who put an end to Omegaplugg have the chance to get the 100% drop chance toy called the Vial of Green Goo, which transforms the player into a Lepinome. To find Omegaplugg, you need to travel to the Nomoragan instance via the portal to Ironforge and fly to the zone, since higher level characters cannot use the group finder to search for it. Horde players can access it easiest using the teleporter near Stranglethorn Vale. Once within the instance, players can journey to the opening of the final room where there is a hidden big red button that says "Push Me." Once players tap the button, the boss spawns in the centre of the room. Number 7. Anzu. The Raven God Anzu is a giant bird boss that most people nowadays that are seeking the highly sought after Raven Lord mount will be aware of, a mount that has an extremely low drop chance. Anzu possibly is a reference to Anzu, a feathered demon creature from Mesopotamian mythology, and also the Anzu wily, a dinosaur from the late Cretaceous period millions of years ago that was native to America's North and South Dakota. Originally this bird was part of an epic flight form quest chain for druid shapeshifting, before it was removed in Cataclysm patch 4.0.1 and added as a permanent secret boss spawn. Originally only being able to be spawned by the druid class, Anzu, since Cataclysm, can now be found in the centre of the room in the Halls of Mourning from within Sethic Halls, now on heroic only mode. I personally have this mount and it's definitely one of the more rare mounts you want to add to your collection, and it was a pretty big pain in the butt to obtain in Cataclysm, but it really was worth it to do so. Nowadays you will see a few mounts with the same model as this, for example Void Talon of the Dark Star and Flame Talon of Alice Razor, but it's still a really neat mount to actually own. Number 6. High Inquisitor Fairbanks. Fairbanks was the High Inquisitor of the Scarlet Crusade once upon a time. Although he no longer exists in game after the reboot of Scarlet Monastery sometime during MOP, he was once hidden in a secret chamber of the cathedral part of the instance as an extra boss and was a level 40 elite undead. What's really cool is how he is still referenced in the new reboot edition of the instance, as his body is still found in the same chamber as it was before he was defeated in the original. In the lore, Fairbanks was the most trusted advisor of High Lord Mograine, aka the Ashbringer and High Lord of the Scarlet Brotherhood. Fairbanks fell in the same battle as Mograine, when Renault Mograine, after being corrupted by the Dreadlord Balnazar, betrayed his father and the High Inquisitor as he led them to Stratholme, where they fell in battle to the Scourge. Number 5. Old Serra'kis. Another hidden boss removed from the game, Old Serra'kis was a really awesome dinosaur creature, one known as a Threshodon, and was found within the Black Fathom Deep's instance. To access this boss, players had to find the secret underwater chamber that led to him by swimming underneath the left side of the ruins near Moonshrine Sanctum from within. The boss dropped some valuable low level items, although since WOD was released, for some reason or another, Blizzard decided to replace Old Serra'kis with a boss with a more updated look, known as the Guardian of the Deep, who is basically a giant crab-like monster who torments the rivers of BFD. Number 4. Postmaster Malown. Another secret boss in the game tied to the infamous Stratholme, Postmaster Malown is one of the bosses that's slightly more low-key in terms of people actually knowing him. A lot of players of WoW back in the day might remember this secret boss, but newer players perhaps have no clue. Within Stratholme there is a wing where the mailroom and mailboxes are located pretty close to the entrance. Originally, these mailboxes required keys to open. However, when the tampering of the mail occurs, when you're opening the mailboxes for example, spirits of Stratholme postmen appear to attack you. When messing with 3 of these mailboxes, an enraged Postmaster Malown appears to confront the player. Number 3. Infinite Corruptor. One of the more bountiful bosses on this list, the Infinite Corruptor is a fascinating secret boss that the majority of the Warcraft player base now know about and have probably looted. But back in Wrath and Cata, this was one of the most highly sought after bosses. The Corruptor is a member of the Infinite Dragonfly, tied to the raid as it's based in the Caverns of Time, as players are theoretically visiting the past in the dungeon storyline. However, this boss spawn is linked to a time trial event in which the player must complete the instance content before the boss in 25 minutes or under before initiating the boss fight. The player can only do this on heroic difficulty, which should deem no challenge in today's Warcraft, but if this is not completed, it will despawn. Although it was hard back in the day, not so much anymore. The reason why it was so sought after is because it drops the reins of the Bronze Drake mount, which is a Bronze Dragon mount and the majority of the player's first real epic mount from an instance. I seem to remember back in the day offering max level geared characters to run me through the instance for a promise of gold, regardless of already being poor. Fun times. Number 2. The Eva Sarkhoff questline. Located in the entrance to Scholarmans from within the Western Plaguelands, Eva Sarkhoff is a level 54 quest giver NPC. She is a ghost, tormented by the Scourge of Kel'Thuzad for being in hiding from the Scourge, and she grants the player various quests from within the Scholomance instance to free her spirit. Since Cataclysm, her level was modified down to level 43, and after MoP was released, the revamped Scholomance, she was removed from the game. The quests she granted were to slay bosses such as the Butcher, rid of her remains, and defeat Jandis Barov. The third quest was to defeat Kirtonos The Herald, a secretly spawned boss which was summoned via burning blood, which would also spawn a gargoyle. The fight was pretty tough back in the day. The quest granted a trinket which revealed ghosts nearby, which granted extra quests and access to additional vendors. Number 1. Gahz'rilla. This Hydra lizard is located in Zul'Farrak. It can be summoned by activating the gong. You had to originally seek out a mallet for this called the Mallet of Zul'Farrak, which was obtained from reading ancient tablets dropped from mobs in the instance. The mallet was obtained by a troll called Kyaga the Keeper at the Altar of Zul and required it to be infused. It was a neat questline and a big task requiring a group. The mallet could also be used as an actual one-hander mace for warriors and shamans, as well as for summoning the secret boss for extra loot. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you have a favourite boss from this video, definitely let me know which one it is in the comment section below and why. If you want to see more top 10 videos like this and daily gaming videos such as more World of Warcraft, subscribe to the channel for more so you don't miss out, and so you can join the giveaway for this month's free Steam game in the link in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.